second CD, key 2, unity. The second CD describes the experience of enlightenment or awakening. It's the cornerstone of all the Siddhic states, being as it is the essence of the divine feminine. The divine feminine whole has a great mystery within it because in a certain sense it cannot be said to be a pole at all. The masculine pole is very simple and straightforward, but the feminine is beyond any sense of reason and understanding. The masculine principle is really an externalization of the feminine rather than a duality. The masculine principle is really an externalization of the feminine rather than a duality. The masculine pole is very simple and straightforward, but the feminine is beyond any sense of reason and understanding. I always think of the feminine as just really soft and I don't know, watery, and it'll surround you and doesn't really, get up in you.
Right.
The Siddhic level, there is no such thing as duality. Duality is destroyed by a strange kind of divine logic. At this heightened level of awareness, mathematics works differently than on the mental level. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, but always makes 3. The only numbers that really exist at the Siddhic level are 1 and 3. 1 is 1. It is consciousness resting in its own nature. It's the ultimate state of yin, or femininity, or as this second hexagram is often known, it is the receptive. Words such as receptive, feminine, yielding, or mother can be misleading as we tend to understand them as poles with opposites. However, they hint at what lies beyond them, so we need to consider them in a different way if we are to grasp what the second city really means. This is something that can only be grasped intuitively. Thus, when the one externalizes itself as a manifestation in form, it has not created a duality but a trinity. Every duality is really a relationship, and every relationship is really a 3. There's a man, a woman, and instantly there's also a couple, the relationship itself. The divine mathematics, the number 2, is always an illustration. It cannot logically exist. Number 2 is an illustration. Yeah, that's what it says. It cannot logically exist. If you can say anything at all about the number 2, you might say it is a bridge, a dynamic process that instantaneously transmuted before it's even born. Words such as receptive, feminine, yielding, or mother can be misleading as we tend to understand them as poles with opposites. However, they hint at what lies beyond them, so we need to consider them in a different way if we're to grasp what the second city really means. This is something that can only be grasped intuitively. Thus, when the one externalizes itself as a manifestation in form, it has not created in duality, but in a trinity. Every duality is really a relationship. Every duality is really a relationship, and every relationship is really a 3. There's a man, a woman, and instantly there's also a couple, the relationship itself. In divine mathematics, The number 2 is always an illusion. It cannot logically exist. If you can say anything at all about the number 2, you might say it's a bridge. I already read that. These are concepts that cannot be approached with ordinary logic, just like quantum particles in physics that avoid our definition because they appear to be linked to our very perceptual apparatus. One cannot be comprehended, only lived. One cannot be comprehended, only lived. I cannot comprehend you. I cannot comprehend me. I can only live.
Like we were saying earlier, you've reached the zenith of the intellect aspect and you need to move into experience. And in a sense, that's where the comprehension and the understanding comes from.
Enlightenment is not an experience. This is a sentence to meditate upon, like a Zen koan. If you see oneness as an experience to be attained, or that may one day happen to you, then you are caught within the straight line between 2 points. The third thing is transcendence. It does not occur to you, rather it negates you. Ironically, transcendence does not take you away from life, as its name suggests. It places you right in the heart of life, where you have always been. It unifies all opposites, ends all riddles, leaves all mysteries, just as they are. I'm drawing a card every day.
I used to do that too more often, and I always found it to be such a good practice. So I'm glad you're doing it.
Ace of Wands. Yesterday I drew the 2 of Swords. Well, so the Ace of Wands is the beginning of the fire element that starts everything going. Yesterday it was the 2 of Swords, which is growth that can take place in darkness.
Oh.
And peace restored.
Wow.
As well as a difficult decision. I mean, I knew it was a difficult decision. I knew that was what the 2 of Swords, but I had to look up for these other things, you know.
Isn't it interesting that it's directly related to the Gene Keys 1?
I know.
It's awesome. Thank you, Divine, for staying consistent. Like, it just keeps keeping us on track. Really.
All of the aces represent the promise and opportunity of new beginnings.
Oh.
We're in a new beginning. Of course, you know, that's what I've been saying to myself every freaking day of my life, that there are opportunities. Be sure you grab those opportunities, and so I feel like I've done that. Wands are an active masculine suit. Whoever is holding a wand is using their right hand. Waite called this card the root of the powers of fire. The Ace of Wands is a card of eminent creation. So historically, the Ace of Wands is said to herald money, fortune, and inheritance.